myself and my partner, who's Mace. Well, the reason that I use the name is because I use the name, and I always try to use the name in a different fashion or a different style each time that I use it, because the main and the whole real thing of graffiti is your name on a bus, a subway, and wherever you put it. But it has to be the name, because that's what graffiti is all about. Yeah, the name is the whole thing.
They go together.
Mm-hmm. The name is the whole thing in graffiti. Without the name, it would just be, just like a painting of a mural, the way you look over an ocean with trees, and you sign your name in the corner. Why sign your name in the corner? The other way, everywhere that you've gone, people know you. From here to Brooklyn, everywhere. To do this from the Borough Commissioner of the Bronx. Keep this forever. Frame it. It says Maze, one on this side, it says Blade on this side, and this black thing in the middle is an image in space, floating in space. And, it's whatever you see. When you see it in color, you just, whatever you see. When you blast it out of your mind.
You still gonna do this stuff?
Yeah. And this part, he thought of the names, and I thought of this image part here in the middle.
That's bad. That's bad.
And then we're going to paint the horizon first.
I like this one.
Get out of here, this guy. Get off your tip. People should look to graffiti because it's a different art form, like I said before. I mean, you can go to museums and go to different museums and see different artists, and it's something that you just saw and something from 50 years ago, and he was influenced by that, and this was this, and this is that. And this, you can see there was no influence from it because it's a completely different thing that's only been around 16 years tops. He's doing this with a level. I mean, this is amazing, because that should be on tape.
Height? Yeah, it's straight, yeah. And the middle?
Yeah, that's even. Make the left side higher. Yeah, better, yeah.
Do it this way.
Yeah, that's better. Should be a foot from the top.
Building a house on a wall, but it says your name.
Really, right? It's like this is what you did with what you learned from the job.
This is what you learn at a construction job. The man looks down.
And what part we're forgetting? I'm saying you can't make this side bigger because it'll actually be off dimension for the other line.
No, I was gonna pull this line.
This side here.
No, I was gonna pull this line up, pull this line down. Ken, 1956, I found in the store in Saratoga. I found a whole bunch of them. I walked in the store and almost lost my mind. What are they? 6 of them or 7 of them, I think. There's the only one with the original label. The label's all torn off. Can comes out like cream on the wall.
We were originally going to put Dunes Tan for the background, but we're going to use Baby Blue Sky and use Tan for the piece better.
He drafted that, didn't he? I mean, he took he used a drafting board to draw that up?
No, I drew this up.
Freehand?
Yeah. Well, you know, the side of a cassette, I didn't have a ruler.
The side of a cassette? Because this looks like you used, well, as you can see, this is still nice, though.
Yeah, I just drew this up with a...
See, this is freehand. That's why I was asking. I was telling him about you guys doing this freehand. It's a shame that you couldn't have done it freehand without putting your chalk lines, but then you never know how
it's good that he knows all that stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's going to look tough once that's
But it's got to be... I'm hoping we have enough space when we put the B and M. That little space here, that little space to have clouds and sky here to give it that extra
look like they're in
push.
front of it.
Yeah.
You want the wall to look like it is.
Yeah.
But the letters should be standing.
But the wall should look like this when it's done. So it's like, hopefully it'll be this much space.
Yeah, the top of the line.
Yeah.
Because I saw the line before.
Because I wanted you to get that.
I don't know. There's the B's up there.
You got the thing for the sailboat, and I see you had to cut it out.
If you can get that in there.
This guy, the thing for the sailboat. That's what you see, man? He sees a sailboat.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a sail. Everybody interprets art differently, Blade.
I know.
That's why it's called art.
Well, I'm looking at the names now. I'm trying to figure out why they wrote those names so big. Looks like they're trying to reach for something. Well, the first time I looked at it, I thought it had something to do with the Challenger. Well, it had to do with space, you know. The colors make it look like
That's better, Danny?
It looks familiar in some places. Like those circles there with the lines, the highlights lines going through there. This one has something to do with like an old map of some kind, so-called space map. Well, I think the name of the book was...
The old man.
That's an old man, too.
Really, the old man's like, yeah, man.
You don't smoke no reefer.
We smoked back in 49. I got a can of Pedal 50 Purple in 1982, I think, that I've been just holding on to. So we put the purple on, and then we put the black lines over, it'll look completely thick.
I guess two different walls.
Just the little ones, though. The little ones are really good.
Toes are the big walls.
So it looks like it's... As much procedure, we're trying to do it completely.
It's like if you sketch, if you sketch this out on paper, right? It's like a big piece of paper to me. Just sketch it the same exact way. The thought of it on paper.
Yeah, but if you drew it on a train,
it's like if you pulled it off the original design and just stuck it on a giant wall. But it's got to be done the same exact way.
If you drew it on a train, you would have to draw it with exactly the same precision, because on a train you wouldn't see it where it's just a permanent thing. You would see it as it passed by, or you would look at it close, and lines that are actually off 5 inches on a train seem straight. You know, on a train.
Yeah.
10 hours, maybe? About 10 hours, at least, minimum, since 10:30 this morning. And the day before we had to do it longer just to prime the wall down, and tomorrow we outlined and then reprime the wall.
Yeah, I used to always go with him and watch him paint. I did about 4 or 5 of my own till one night cops came and I had to hide under a train. Went to Esplanade one night with Blade and Comet, and a bunch of cops started coming. We heard the walkie-talkies and flashlights, and they ran on top of the train, and I was scared to run up there, so he hid me under a train.
Well, I don't do it illegally anymore, because to do it illegally at anything over 25 is just foolish. It's just a waste. It's not a point behind it anymore. I know people that are my age and people who are older that faithfully go to the trains every week, like we used to do 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, you were a teenager. Now you got rent, you got bills, a steady girl or a wife, family. You do different things. And these are people that are married, that have kids, that still go to trains every week, and they're almost 30 years old.
And I stayed there for about 3 hours until they disappeared. They wouldn't leave. They kept coming back. And Blade and Comet were gone, so I just stayed under that train.
Just your own peers at that time. It was just something, you did it for yourself, for your own personal satisfaction, and it was a different type of excitement other than, we're going to go down to play basketball today, because basketball is exciting and fun. But this was, each day you did it, you went different places all around New York City to Long Island to get paint and to draw ideas and to sketch and to go up on the tracks in the middle of the night and sneak out of the house. It was like a cunning kind of a lifestyle. It was interesting.
He finally came back for me when the cops were gone. He came back and got me. And I had to lay under the train because he said in case the train pulls out, I have to lay still or else the train will roll right over me. So I was very scared. I kept hearing click noises. I kept thinking they were going to pull out the trains. So that was it for me. I never went back.
It's great. I mean, people, I used to go out with chicks. They would actually go out with me and do anything I wanted. People would go and get me things and do anything. Me and Comet, who was my partner for 7 years, we could go anywhere from here to Canarsie, which is far, maybe 50 miles from here, and people would know who we were and be willing to let us hang out in their house, get stoned, buy us beers, lunch, it was great. Get laid like this, man. I'm glad this is almost over. Yeah, they can't figure out what the hell we're doing. This ain't the 50s, We're going to paint tonight until the Parks Department asks us to leave when they close up Orchard Beach. And we're going to come back tomorrow morning about 7 o'clock, when they reopen the gates, first thing in the morning. Do the last minute finishing touches, the outline, things like that. Okay, because I got to draw the hand.
Feel good. That's the way it came out so far.
Looking good.
Yeah, just got to wait to outline it. Fix little things here, little things there. It's all right. Came out nice.
Exhausted. I'm completely exhausted. Getting old.
worked in the commissioner's office. They wouldn't leave. The secretary kept trying to kick them out, and they wouldn't leave. They said they were tax-paying citizens, and they wanted to talk to the commissioner. And they wouldn't leave till they made such a, they were so noisy that the commissioner heard them and walked in and wanted to know what was the commotion.
You have to get a permit to do these things. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Where the things that you would worry about running from the police, you have time to sort those things out. And I think that it's better. Most people disagree, but I think that it's better that you have time to sort it out because it doesn't take away from the free form of graffiti by having time to do it. It just means you can improve on something that you never had time to do. Sure, part of the energy comes from fear and danger, but I have things that I've done that are more detailed on a train that I did 6 years ago than some things that I've done on canvas. Stoned out of my mind, and had over 8 to 10 hours to paint one single subway car. That's how good New York City Police Department is.
This way.
Right.
I see an extraordinary piece, really extraordinary.
Extraordinary concept.
It's really unbelievable. Came out much better than we planned it.
They love it in Amsterdam. They think that it's a complete different kind of an art form. The way that the people hated jazz in America, and jazz went over there and changed the whole outlook of jazz around the world. And people look at different forms and new forms of art the same way. It's completely different. It doesn't look like a copy from anyone that has ever done art. It looks like a complete new and unique thing done by young people.